Have you ever wondered what chronic alcohol abuse actually looks like on a brain scan? It is not just a generalized shrinking of the brain, though that does happen. Alcohol systematically dismantles specific neural networks through direct toxicity, severe malnutrition, and metabolic failure. If you are a medical resident, a nursing student, or just fascinated by neurology, you need to know these distinct alcohol-related brain syndromes and exactly how they show up on an MRI. Let us break down the high-yield encephalopathies you will actually see in the emergency room. The most critical emergency is Wernicke encephalopathy, driven by a severe deficiency of vitamin B1 or thiamine. Patients typically present with a triad of confusion, an unsteady gait known as ataxia, and eye movement abnormalities like nystagmus. However, waiting for all three signs is a fatal mistake, as the full triad rarely appears. If you put these patients in an MRI scanner, you will classically see abnormal T2 or flare hyperintensities in the periaqueductal gray matter, the medial thalamus, and the mammillary bodies. If you fail to give intravenous thiamine before glucose, this acute state becomes Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. At this stage, the brain damage is mostly irreversible, leaving the patient awake and alert but trapped in profound anterograde amnesia, often fabricating elaborate stories to fill the massive gaps in their memory. But the brain is also at the mercy of the liver. Hepatic encephalopathy occurs when a cirrhotic liver fails to clear neurotoxins like ammonia, which then cross the blood-brain barrier. These patients suffer from a reversed sleep-wake cycle, profound confusion, and a classic flapping tremor of the hands called asterixis. Repeated episodes of this metabolic crisis can lead to a rare condition called acquired hepatocerebral degeneration. Clinically, this looks like Parkinson's disease with progressive dementia. Radiologically, it is fascinating. A T1-weighted MRI will reveal striking, symmetric hyperintensities in the globus pallidus caused by the toxic deposition of manganese that the failing liver could not excrete. Then there are the purely toxic and structural syndromes. Marchiaffa-Bignami disease is a devastating and rare complication involving the necrosis and demyelination of the corpus callosum, the thick band of nerve fibers connecting the two brain hemispheres. Patients rapidly develop severe cognitive decline, apathy, and signs of interhemispheric disconnection. An MRI will definitively show edema or cystic changes right in the central layers of the corpus callosum, often referred to as the sandwich sign. Meanwhile, the direct neurotoxic effects of ethanol itself lead to alcohol-related brain damage, commonly called alcoholic dementia. Unlike the pure memory loss of Korsakoff syndrome, this presents with global cognitive blunting and severe executive dysfunction, mirroring the prominent frontal lobe atrophy you will see on their brain scans. Treatment itself can sometimes be dangerous. Chronic alcohol users often have dangerously low sodium levels due to malnutrition and drinking excess fluids, a state known as beerpotomania. If an emergency team corrects this hyponatremia too quickly, the sudden fluid shift strips the myelin sheath right off the nerve cells in the brainstem. This causes osmotic demyelination syndrome, historically called central pontine myelinolysis. The MRI will show a hyperintense lesion in the central pons, sometimes shaped like a bat wing or a trident. Tragically, this can lock the patient inside their own body, fully conscious but completely paralyzed and unable to speak. Finally, we must mention SESA syndrome, which stands for subacute encephalopathy with seizures in alcoholics. Unlike typical, brief alcohol withdrawal seizures, these patients experience a subacute mental decline heavily characterized by recurrent, dangerous seizures and status epilepticus. While their MRI might show varying degrees of atrophy or ischemic changes, their brain waves on an EEG will show distinct periodic lateralized epileptiform discharges, requiring aggressive anti-seizure medication alongside standard addiction care. Understanding these distinct pathologies, their clinical signs, and their specific MRI findings is absolutely vital for making life-saving clinical decisions. If you found this medical breakdown helpful for your studies or your own curiosity, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so the algorithm knows to share this medical education with others. Let me know in the comments which neurological syndrome you want covered next.